There's a new French film out that is hot in these streets. It's called Titane. Went to go see the movie thinking the whole time that it was pronounced Titane. So of course after I seen it, I started like, you know, ranting and raving about it to people I knew. I was saying, hey, did you see Titane? Yeah, I know. But it's Titane. And wow. I was shocked. I was disturbed. I laughed. I grimaced. At the end, I knew I loved this. I was just like, this is, you know, this is right up my alley. That being said, it is not for everybody. I'm just gonna preface this right now. I really don't want to get into the synopsis or the storyline because I don't want to give a lot of things away. I'm reading all these different kind of, you know, summaries and synopsises that they have, you know, kind of describing the movie, like the log lines and stuff. That ain't even the whole. The story just builds and builds and builds, and it just kind of gets to be like, what? Like, I know I ain't watching what I think I'm watching, but you are. And they actually make it something where it's not so outrageous, because I don't know if it's because of how well it's done or just the overall themes that come out after it, where you're just like, oh, that's what was going on. That's what they're trying to say. Or if it was just really good acting and performances. Probably a mixture of all three, but that movie got me. Immediately when I watched it, I was just, and bear with me. I thought Alien, I thought Stephen King's Christine, and then like top notes of American Psycho. All that being said, they're nothing like this movie, but those were like the only things I could like equate it to, because that's like the only kind of point of reference. It was just it's so hard to describe because I don't want to spoil anything, but I really feel like I need to in order to really say what I'm feeling, but I won't do that. It's beautifully made, but the story is what really just, like, I was just like, who thinks of shit like this? You know what I mean? What are they on, and can they give me some? When it was all over, I felt like I needed to find some chill. Like, really find my center and really reevaluate, like, girl, what are you doing? Like, why do you watch things like this? I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. If you read the description for this film and it sounds like it's doing a lot, that's because it is. I mean, I've seen different descriptions of it. I've seen body horror mentioned. I've seen automotive sex mentioned, and a lot of other things that seem kind of random, but in the context of the story, they're not. I'm just gonna come around and say it. This is spoiler time, okay? This is spoiler time. If you're not here for the spoilers, cut this off right now. The lead character is a serial killer. She is one of the most, I think, well written, well portrayed female serial killers I've ever seen in a film to date. And I think because all throughout the story, it's like, she does not have like that emotional center. She does not know where the line is between pleasure and pain. And she has just an impulse to kill and like this animalistic urge just to survive. That's the only thing we can kind of relate to, is that self-preservation aspect of her. But other than that, she's completely devoid. It makes sense why she has sex with cars. Like, literally with cars. And then she gets pregnant by one of the cars. And when I say this, I'm not even giving everything away. Also dances in a nightclub where she dances on cars, like in the midst of car shows, kind of like a mini local celebrity, but also kills people. See my face? Like, that's how much the story. I was just like, man, like how did this happen? A different kind of love story. Aside from the wild shit, a lot of nudity. There was nothing pornographic about it. Maybe it's because I'm a woman and, you know, we look at this every day, so it's just not that big of a deal, and it didn't feel exploitative to me. I mean, the main character is naked like a lot of the time, so it's no room to be shocked. You're more so shocked at what she puts her body through and what she does to other people, but not so much, you know, how the form that they come. Whether it's clothed or not, it's still shocking, but it has nothing to do with people not having clothes. If you understand what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot to unpack with this. I probably need to see it a couple more times. I'm probably gonna own it on DVD. because it just feels like it needs to be in my collection of classics and oddities. But all that being said, a great time at the movies. It just, as opposed to going into different horror films where, you know, you see women get attacked and you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And automatically in the back of your mind is when I'm like, ah shit, you know what I mean? You kind of internalize that. This film kind of did the opposite for me, which I know sounds strange, but that's just how it felt. But anyways, hopefully you check it out. Hopefully you dig my new setup, and hopefully you join me again for the next review.